Superintendent Ryan Walters wants millions of taxpayer dollars to put Bibles in classrooms. A state school board member and lawmakers now voicing worry over the legality of it all. News 4's Spencer Humphrey is here with what Walters wants to see and why it's giving some people pause. Spencer?
Well, yeah, Kevin, Walters says he wants the Bibles in classrooms to serve as historical documents. But when it comes to the state deciding which version of the Bible is best to use, some worry that'll create a legal mess.
We've talked about the efforts of left-wing groups and the teachers' unions to drive the Bible out of school.
News 4's cameras in the boardroom Thursday as State Superintendent Ryan Walters began the month's state school board meeting with an announcement. He'd be asking for an additional $3 million from the state to buy Bibles to put in public school classrooms.
So this would give us the ability to utilize $6 million in less than 2 years to ensure that the Bible hasn't been driven out of Oklahoma classrooms.
Specifically, Walters said he wants the state to buy New King James Bibles, a version first published in 1982, arguing it's the most commonly cited version of the Bible in textbooks. But not every state school board member was comfortable.
I personally am not of the exact same religion as everybody else who may be considering this type of thing, and so it's personally important to me to make sure that we have this right.
Board member Sarah Lepak asked OSDE's attorney if this is even constitutional.
I am very uncomfortable with any kind of idea, and I know you said this isn't what's going to happen, any kind of idea about proselytizing, establishing some kind of state religion.
The attorney told her, in his opinion, past U.S. Supreme Court rulings made clear this would jibe with the U.S. Constitution. But that's not the only Constitution at play here.
Oklahoma's Constitution specifically says that the State Board of Education cannot do what they are trying to do.
State Senator Mary Boren points to Article 2 of Oklahoma's Constitution, which essentially says public money can't ever be used to benefit a religion.
The Oklahoma provision in our Constitution that establishes a higher bar of separation of church and state.
Boren argues by favoring the New King James Version, the state is leaving out not only non-Christians, but also many Christians who don't follow the New King James Bible.
It established a religion by elevating one particular version of the Bible above all else.
And ultimately, she thinks it's pretty clear what's going on.
It shows me that they're trying to make the United States Supreme Court overturn a provision within our Constitution.
Now, it's important to note no final decisions have been made. What Walters presented today were his budget requests that would ultimately have to be approved by the state school board as well as the state legislature. OSDE's attorney also told board members he'd write up a legal memo laying out his formal legal argument to them before they take any votes.